All right, so we're here live, the Relentless Game podcast. So we're turning chaos, life's chaos, into power. So that's kind of what I went through. A little chaos this past week, where I was at 3 days at church camp with 10th grade young men going in 11th grade. They're still 10th graders. Just get it twisted.
Absolutely.
They act like a bunch of idiots. With that, though, is I have been on this. Me and Christian have August 9th. We have a fitness event that we're going to be
Competing in.
And it was one of those things where we had talked about right before I left, like
We were locking the date in and
with that, and then getting that. It's what you were talking. I was like, "How much do you weigh?"
getting
right
leaner.
now? And you were like, "Well, I weigh this," and I was like, "Yeah, I need to shed at least 10 pounds or so to be ready and because we're going to carry our body weight around. You carry more body weight, then it's going to be a lot more difficult. And this is a high intensity kind of a workout as far as that goes. And so that is, I was going to church camp, and I reached out to my coach, and I was like, "Hey, here's the deal." And so today, what we want to share is like, there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be struggles. You're going to be on a mission, and you're going to be attacking and going. And there's going to be some type of obstacle or issue or bad timing that's going to be in your way. What I've seen with a lot of individuals over the years, just being in this game of transformation, is like they want to wait, right? They know they want to take that first step, but then there's some type of obstacle that's in the way of a vacation that's going to be coming, or they have some type of, maybe their elbows hurting a little bit, and then so they say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to wait, and I'm not going to attack this right now." And then inevitably what happens is they dig themselves deeper into a pit. And so they gain more weight, or they have an injury, and then they start to have another injury. And then if something happens, and it continues to build up. And so that would be the what we're going to talk about today is like, I was going into this church camp knowing that there were going to be some type of obstacles there in my way, and I wanted to be prepared for it as much as possible.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There's always going to be, whether it be the church camp that you're at, whether it be a family event, there's always going to be resistance nonstop. And not only do I see it lead to people not even taking action on the initial journey of losing weight and trying to build momentum that way, but even whenever they do start, then they stop whenever something like this happens. And that's why they get so frustrated with losing weight and with building muscle and trying to become a better version of themselves, because they don't stay consistent with it. It's stop, start, stop, start. So it's like stacking dominoes. You stack a domino, and you're creating a little bit of momentum, and then you stop, and then that's pausing. If not, it's pulling a domino away. And so everything that you've stacked up, every time you stop, it's either going to stop that progress, or like you said, it's going to return you back to the original place that you were. And so then it's frustrating because you can never make progress because you're stopping and starting because of something around you.
Yeah, so that's the first thing was like, I stepped into this, and I step into anything, is I've got some rules around the way that I live my life. One, I'm going to fast the majority of the days. I'm going to fast. Reason for that is, when I start eating, I start thinking about the next thing I'm going to eat. And so it's one of those things where, not necessarily if I have like a protein shake or something like that, it's not a big deal. But if I have like a something that's not necessarily as filling, or is filling, or whatever it may be, it just spikes this. What am I going to have next? Especially if I'm eating outside of what I have control over.
Yeah.
Right? So they're serving biscuits and gravy and stuff. It's like, I can eat that biscuits and gravy, and I can knock out some biscuits and gravy. That's what got me to where country boy kind of way I am, as far as big boned, as far as that was in the beginning anyway. So,
and you haven't usually been having that, so you eat it and you go, "Ooh, I want a little bit more of that."
Yeah, exactly. So you go over them, and what we know too is we always talk about, and I'm just very, very conscious of, is like, I'm an all in. I've been in the past, and that's what I would say is I don't like to identify as a all in, all out guy anymore. It's just like, this is not who I am anymore. I'm getting control over it. But so I'm like a witness protection program around it right now. And so it's like, I started making some rules around. There's a snack shack that was on campus that everybody was talking about. And I was like, I'm not going to eat Snack Shack.
Yep.
I'm going to drink majority water. if I had some Gatorade Zeros, or maybe I have a energy drink first thing in the morning, but I'm not going to drink my calories. That's going to be another rule. And then in the evening, I would make a rule of around like I'm going to stop eating at a certain time because I don't like waking up with indigestion. And I know from wearing my Whoop band that it impacts my digestion and impacts my recovery and my sleep as far as that goes. And so those are just some rules that I just had from the get-go. Not going to a snack shack. I'm going to fast. I'm going to not going to drink my calories. And I'm going to quit eating at a certain point. The other one was carbohydrates that were given to me in abundance. And so it's like, I don't eat white bread and like breads that come on like burgers and stuff like that. I try to stay away from that as much as possible.
Yeah.
And just like to have fries and stuff like that. But when you're given like, so the last night was they served a bunch of brisket sandwiches and stuff and like good portions of meat, things like that. So I just said, will you give me a plate with no bread on it? And they would give me
more meat.
Now they're like, okay, well, he's not having that. So like they felt kind of bad for me or whatever. And they give me more meat. I get some corn and then I'm good. Like I've had a good portion that way. So that's how I handled the majority of everything. Fajitas one time I had corn tortillas and I had a big, just two corn tortillas and put as much protein in it as possible. Little stuff like that. So that's my biggest, and the other side of it was what we talked about was I knew that sleep was going to be an issue. We're sleeping on cots, and our bunk beds and the cushions are like this thick, like what we're sleeping on. So I took my Puffle, which is like a human dog bed, which people like to give me crap about, but I don't really care. So I took it, and that helped me out. And I took a fan as well, knowing that I can't sleep in the hot.
And the way that you set these rules is you customize it to yourself because you know how you are. Hey, if I have both of those carbs, it's going to lead me to overeat. I'm not going to be able to lose the weight that I want to. If I put myself in that environment, going to that snack shack, I know that I'm going to have that early on and then I'm going to continue to keep eating. So what's allowed you to get the results even while being gone is you stopped lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Because you can easily lie to yourself and go, well, I'll just allow myself to have that snack. But you know the end of that road. You've been there before.
Now here's what would have changed. If I would have worked out first thing in the morning and had like some type of killer workout or something, then I potentially would have allowed myself to justify and go like, oh, well, I can go have this because I had that. But since I hadn't worked out, I was just walking and sweating because we're outside a lot of times.
Way more mindful of the food you're putting in your body.
And drinking a lot more. And the other side of it is I didn't lean on my own understanding on what I needed to take. And so I could have took a lot of crap snacks. And I took, I reached out to my coach and was like, hey, bro, what would you tell me to take? And he gave me some like, bananas, banana plantain chips, plantain chips, honey, some David bars I took. Those RX bars was one that he's really suggested because they don't have a lot of crap in it. And so that was you had a beef jerky. So there was a plan, and that's what the biggest thing that we can probably the principle we can really go with is a plan creates discipline. That in the life that we live as men who play this, I look at the game that we play and the game that we play inside the Guerrilla Alliance is, and I said this before, is like, it's my sport. I take it very, very serious. I want to align myself with men that take it very serious. You take it seriously. And the guys that are with us right now, because I've eliminated a bunch that haven't and won't, and I won't let others back in until they go through the process. But that's beside the point. You know that there's an issue and there's a problem that's around the corner. Without a doubt, there's going to be some type of problem or some type of issue. All with this one was I knew going into that I was going to be limited on the food, so I got to choose and things like that. And so it's with decisions I made. I just made smarter decisions. Now, within life, though, you know, and that's what we were actually in Bible study today. We could take that back to Proverbs, how we were talking about. It's like you carried in your heart, carry the commandments in your heart. That's basically what I did going to church camp. Was it's like I knew the rules that I needed to live around when it comes to fitness and nutrition and working out and drinking what I need to drink and taking my supplements, doing the little stuff is like, that's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just is like, hey, I'm going to continue to do what I am. The other side of it is I knew like I was being watched. Like I knew that people were watching me and were wondering like, okay, what's he going to be eating? And so like every time I come out with like, oh, you don't have a bun. Okay. Oh, you're not eating that. Pastor Mills, one day I was sitting there kind of in the corner and then we had like a break time. And he's like, pulls up. He's a freak he's hammering down, doing wheelies and stuff like, or donuts and stuff and so he's like, hop in. He's like, I hear you like snow cones. So I won't say I didn't get anything from the snow cones yet, but I didn't spend I didn't spend $1 inside. He bought the snow cones. And I did have a sno cone as far as that goes and with that. But that's how we play this game of life is. We know there's going to be issues. We want to stay prepared. At the same time, we want to have a mission that we're working towards. So we have that mission that we're working towards. That's guiding us on making our decisions. Because if I didn't have a mission, like if we didn't have this August 9th competition coming up, then what would have happened is I would have probably been like, I can have a little bit, because you would see all these other individuals that are eating like and they had, that was the other thing too, was for like the leaders, they had like their own little snack, like
their own little kitchen.
Come in and grab whatever you want. And they had, I like all the gummies and nerd clusters and stuff like that. They had that stuff, and it was like, I'm also had a rule with I'm like big bulk stuff. I'm not reaching my hand and grabbing out of anything that a bunch of people reached into. So like they had that big nerds thing, and I was like, they opened it up, like, okay, there's probably a package. They're probably in packages. Opened it up.
Everybody's just
and the dude was like,
reaching in there.
Oh, you can grab a little cup and get you a scoop out. And I was like, nah, I'm good.
Because you're probably the only one grabbing that cup. Everybody else has got fingers.
Well, that, or they're grabbing the cup and putting their hand, and your hand's raked up against the side that they got. There's no telling, man. And I'm a dude, and I've been I know, and I've watched. I've been in the bathrooms where guys are coming in, and I'm like, I'm sitting on the pot, and I'm like, somebody just walked in here. Somebody just walked out and didn't wash their hands too. Yeah. And I'm like, ugh. So I just hyper aware of that stuff. So,
well, here's the principle, man, is the principle is not only do you have a plan, but you don't let someone else's plan be your plan. You know what your plan is. And that's the problem with a lot of men is they first off, they don't even have a plan. So then they're just winging it when they get into an environment.
And I leaned on other people that
absolutely.
Usually I could do that.
You had a coach. Yeah. So you were prepared for it, and you didn't let their plan was, oh, we're gonna have, we're leaders, so we're gonna have all these other foods that we're gonna do. You came prepared. You had a plan, and you didn't let their plan kind of mesh into what you were gonna do. You said, no, this is what I do, and this is flat. I'm a leader. And this is the way that I'm going to do it, and that's what allowed you to get the results.
Yeah. So that's something I'm building right now. It's something that I'm guiding, and you can watch me right now on my Instagram. And this right here is I'm doing the Built Different, and the goal is like I'm trying to show behind the scenes, kind of like what's going on in my life at the same time, but the principles that I kind of live by and share of that, but then the process too, because I haven't shared yet, but I've got before pictures like of leading up to, and so people are going to be able to see over the course of like 75 days of like this transition that I'm not just talking about to people, but they're going to be able to see that, oh, he's been doing this the whole time while he's been having this challenge go. And we're at a place inside the Guerrilla Alliance where we need to have something that was a little bit more simplified and laid out. And so we built, and we've been building this 42-day Built Different challenge. And I think what's happened in the past is working high level and playing this game for almost a decade now. Sometimes I don't realize how
not high level some of these individuals are. Even though that's a harsh way to put it, right? That's kind of what you're getting at.
I wasn't going to say that. But what's become That was Christian.
I've been around you too much, man.
That's exactly right though. Is like I've done it over and over again, and I've gotten better and killed versions of myself off. And like some people are just at this place where they're not at a place of getting uncomfortable. And if you're not wanting to get uncomfortable, then we're not going to change. And so one of the principles that we live by is a code. And we start this of like teaching the code of, I'm going to be honest in everything that I do, because what we know is like where truth is, then God will come in and it will transform. But if you're lying about what's going on and like, I just can't figure out why I'm not getting the results. But then when it's 10 o'clock at night, you're in the pantry and stuff, then God's going to be like, what, bro? Like, you don't know what you need to do? Like, get clear on yourself. So we need to have that foundation of the code, but we also need to have predictable power to start our day. And that's one of the things we're teaching. But also, you start your day, and sometimes I wake up, man, and I've got these thoughts that aren't necessarily healthy, right? That are like thoughts about this person's judging me this way, or we're not going to make this much money in, bring this much money in, or we're going to have to do this, or whatever it is. And you have all these different stories that you're telling yourself, and it's keeping you stuck. Mm-hmm. And so what we want to be able to do is get guys physically in shape, but then also on top of that, give them tools with the stack to start questioning the thoughts that they're telling themselves. Give them predictable power by having the core 4 and tapping into that first thing in the morning. And then also living by the code, which is like when I come to you and I go, Christian, where you at? Mm-hmm. Like you're talking to me from a place of like, hey, this is where I'm at right now. This is the struggle I'm going with. And you can own it. And what happens is when you can own your own stuff and you can just lay it out there, you get it out of here and you get it here. And now you can see it. And now you've got guidance from other individuals that can see different things that you can't see and can kind of pick you up and go, hey, this is the direction we need to go. And then you can follow that direction. We can get there a lot faster together. And that's ultimately what we're building with the 42-day Built Different Challenge, which will then lead them into the next portion. So there's a reason why we do everything. We just talked about plan. Like we're not just winging it. Like we know exactly what we want for our guys. At the same time, we know the power that when you take control of yourself and then you lean on having faith, and then you can question your thoughts, then we can be physically, mentally, and spiritually weaponized to take on anything that's going to be coming at us.
Yeah. And whenever I say high level, all I'm talking about I was sitting on that. Like, I'm not saying that to degrade you guys at all, but like you guys may be more high level in sales, maybe more high level in the career that you're in, but this is what we do. And that's what we've done is we've done guys a disfavor because we've just expected them to, they should already know this, but they didn't know this yet. And so we have to give them the skill sets in order to equip them to make it on to the next level and on to the next level. And what we did was we give them too much information, and it was too much, and it led to just very little action taken. And so that was on us. It was a disfavor that we did to them. So now we're starting to fine tune the system to build you up. Exactly.
That's what I mean. Legit, like every day you're getting a message that says, hey, listen to this 4-minute audio, do this, and this. And like they're simple things to do. Like, here's the Bible verse you're going to take today. This is the Bible stack you're going to go over. Okay, well, now you need to find an insight. Here's the insight. Here's the question that we're going to ask. Now go do a discovery stack on that. And so now you can start to like figure things out on your own. What individuals don't want is to be told what to do. They want to be like by power. It's like, and so like we'll give you the guidance, but we can't do the work for you. Yeah. I think that in the past, I've tried to save individuals, and there's only one savior, and I'm not your savior.
Yep. And the best coaches ask questions, and that's what we're going to do is we're going to give you the tools, but it's your story. So ultimately, you're going to figure a lot of things out on your own, and we're going to ask you those detailed questions specific to you that's going to allow you to figure out your story and allow you to level up. And so, that's what we do.
Yeah. So, a lot of different ways right now. Like inside my bio, you've got the Bible stack, you've got the Drive Protocol, you've got our YouTube channel, you've got the podcast which you're watching. If you're watching online right now, we're doing it's the Relentless Game, turning life's chaos into power. tons of tools that we're trying to give out to help you in this journey. If it's something that you know that you need to step your game up, and it sounds like that Christian and I may be the guys that you want to run with, that's ultimately what we're looking for. Is we're looking for guys that run with us. We're not trying to run ahead of you. It's not a we game. It's not a me game. It's a hey, let's go at it together. And what we know is like when you get faith driven men and you get them together and then you start weaponizing and you become a weapon for God, powerful things can happen. And that's what we're seeing in everything that we're doing is like there's a hand of God that is helping with us growing the Bible study and doing the things that we're doing. And it's powerful. And we just want to play the game with other guys that are on the same page as us, because what we know is we're not created to do this alone kind of deal either. So,
yeah.
Anything else?
I'll just shout out my Instagram. My Instagram is boo_train6. So all things fitness and nutrition, you can get guidance from me on there.
You can go get him in the messages when he called you guys.
Yeah, DM me.
And then mine is Seth.P.Humphrey, and that's on Instagram and on Facebook. And so that's ultimately what we're trying to do, guys. Is not only guide, but then lead you to the place that you're wanting to go and show you a different way, because we've done it the hard way over the years. Mm-hmm. And the game that we play is it's fun, it's a sport, and it's not made for everybody, but the guys that it is made for, the results on the other side of it are undeniable. So We appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic day, and we will see you later.
Turning like chaos in the power. This is a